So you've settled in, you've built a life here in Vietnam, and that temporary residence card, your TRC, it feels like your golden ticket. But as that expiration date starts creeping closer, that one big question starts to get louder and louder. Can you just, keep renewing it forever? Can this be your path to a permanent life here? Well, today we are digging into the official laws to get you the real, no-nonsense answer. All right, let's just get straight to the point. The question on everyone's mind. Can you renew your TRC over and over and over again? The official answer, coming straight from the legal code, might actually surprise you. Okay, let's not beat around the bush. Can you renew it indefinitely? The short, simple headline answer is yes, that's right. Under Vietnam's current laws, there is no hard cap on the number of times you're allowed to renew your temporary residence card. But, and you knew there was a but coming, right? This is the really important part. It is absolutely not automatic. That yes is not a guarantee. You have to think of every single renewal as a brand new application where you have to prove all over again that you still qualify. So let's break down what that really means. First things first, let's look at the rulebook. This whole idea of renewing your TRC isn't some secret loophole or an unofficial policy. It's actually built right into Vietnam's legal system. The whole system is built on a few key pieces of legislation. You've got the foundational law, an update to that law, and then the big one for our purposes, Decree 75. This is the one that lays out the exact procedures and specifically says, yes, you can get a new TRC when your old one expires, as long as you're still meeting all the original requirements. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does it look like in the real world? Let's dive into the non-negotiable checklist, the stuff you absolutely have to get right for every single renewal. So just remember, indefinite is not the same as unconditional. You've got to tick these 4 boxes every single time. Number 1, timing. Don't wait until the last minute. You have to apply at least 30 days before it expires. 2, your sponsor. Your company or your spouse has to be valid and still willing to sponsor you. 3, your passport. Now this one trips people up all the time. It needs to have at least 13 months of validity left on it. And finally, number 4, your purpose. If you got your TRC as an investor, but you sold that business, guess what? You no longer qualify for that type of renewal. Now, let's flip the coin. Even if you've been living here for years, your renewal application can still get denied. It's really, really important to know the red flags that can get your application thrown out immediately. Yeah, there are some hard lines that you just cannot cross. Any kind of criminal activity, or if you're seen as a security risk, that's an automatic no. Same goes for fraud. If you've ever used fake documents or lied on an application, that's a deal breaker. If your sponsor, say your company, suddenly shuts down or withdraws their support, your legal reason for being here is gone. And your past really does matter. A prior deportation comes with a 3-year ban, and even being forced to leave puts you on a 6-month timeout. Trust me, they will check your history. Okay, so let's get practical for a minute. The laws on the books are one thing, but how those laws are actually enforced on the ground, well, that's what really matters to us. And there have been some pretty big shifts in practice lately that you really need to know about. And this slide really highlights a huge shift in how things are done. The immigration authorities have really tightened their focus. You see, it used to be a bit more flexible, but now the practice is that to get a TRC in the first place, you generally must have entered Vietnam on the right kind of long-term visa. That's typically a work visa, symbol LD2, or a family visa, symbol TT. If you're on a different visa type, you might have to go through a whole separate visa conversion process first. This is such a critical point to wrap your head around. The law lets you keep applying, sure, but it doesn't just grant you one single long-term pass to stay forever. Your residency here is broken up into these fixed chunks of time, and at the end of every single one, you're back to square one, proving your eligibility all over again. And this table right here shows you exactly what that looks like in the real world. For most of us, right, the foreign workers on an LD2 card or the family members on a TT card, your forever plan actually means a trip to the immigration office every 2 years. So unless you're a massive investor, we're talking over 50 billion dong, that 2-year renewal cycle is the reality of long-term life in Vietnam. Okay, so let's put all the pieces together. What are your actual next steps? What can you do to make sure you can stay on this path of continuous, successful renewal? You know, it all really boils down to this. Stay perfectly compliant, always maintain your sponsor, and never ever let your passport get close to expiring. And for the nitty-gritty, the actual paperwork like Forms NA6, 7, and 8, and the latest official rules, you have to go straight to the source. This is it. This is the website. You need to bookmark it. It's the official national portal of the Vietnam Immigration Department. This is where you'll find the real information, free from all the out-of-date advice or bad info you might see online. It is your single source of truth. So here we are, right back where we started. The law does give you a path to stay in Vietnam indefinitely through these renewals. But as we've seen, this is not something you can just set and forget. It demands constant vigilance and really careful planning. So the final question isn't just can you stay, but are you truly prepared for what it's going to take to do it, year in and year out?